pretty wild! If someone tells you they love hiking in the rain, I'd almost call bollocks. Very seldom do I share that in any of the hundreds of videos. Okay, you trig baggers, have you ticked this one off your bucket list? I'm at the end of this gee-forsaken track! Cheerful Dave has left the building. What a beautiful tree! How awesome is this? So I'm at Daly's hut. I ran out of memory card, and so I just need to tell you the events leading up to me stopping the third night at Daly's. Well, good morning everybody. 6 o'clock in the morning. So this is day 3, and I went to bed last night at midnight, and so I'm a little bit jaded, but there's really no time to diddle-daddle around this morning. The only one that was camping outside last night. I'll just pack all this up and then head into the hut and brew up some breakfast, and people should be up by then, and then I'll get going. There's not a lot of water between here and Waitawheta Hut, and so this is a 2-litre bladder. This will go in the bottom of my pack as an emergency situation. Right, that was late in, early out start at my tent site. So I'm heading off to Waitawheta Hut now. 7 hours allegedly. This will be on the old North South Track, which goes past Baldy, past Wahine Rock. Did I say it's 7:05? I think I did. So that'll put me at around about 2 o'clock by the time I get to Waitawheta. The other day I was talking about hiking poles bugging me down if I didn't leave my other favourite stick somewhere just up the road here. But do you think I was going to go back and retrieve it? No! And this is why I'm saying I reckon the best hiking pole you can have is the one that you cut, and that way there is no crying when you leave it behind. This is actually a campsite. We're up on Mount Baldy. I was aware that you could camp up here, but with the westerlies it was just too strong with my polarless tent. But yeah, I definitely would have come here rather than staying at the hut. Apparently the views from here are normally awesome. Normally awesome. I mean, look at the wind coming up over, the clouds going up over. Let's have a look a bit further, shall we? Now sadly I had to put my mono stick away because I've broken the Joby stand that goes on it. And there goes my hat. And this is maybe why they called it Mount Baldy. See, I do have hair. You think I wear a cap because I don't. Pretty wild. Anyway, somewhere over there is Wahine Rock. I've been past it once before, about 7 years ago. Anyway, I better get out of this wind. At this point it would have been pretty tough doing this at night, so I made the right decision staying at the hut last night. Well, near the hut last night. Wahine Rock, here we come. Just following a couple of hunters down here that just shot a deer, and they've glassed from up where I'm standing, and they're just trying to retrieve it now. So good on them, eh? It's another win for the environment. It's probably as good as we're going to see Wahine Rock. Wind's moving pretty fast. It's not too cold, but it's still really quite windy, which is why I've still got my jacket on, because otherwise I'd get cold quite quickly with the wind and my sweat. Oh, and now it's disappeared. That's how fickle it can be out here. Wahine Rock. I call it the finger of God. Pretty awesome, isn't it? I reckon one of the saving graces of why I've been able to do this is because of this pack system. Now I'm actually loving this nature hike pack, and I've put it through some pretty rugged terrain and it seems to be holding up. But I just love the way that it's got this little pouch that allows me to have a 500 ml of container, which I'm constantly drinking out of. So I'm not having to stop to reach around and get my water. However, that said, how I normally operate is I actually have another 1 litre of emergency, and so I kind of know that when I get through this I can just top this up. Now here's the other secret. Every time I fill up a 500 ml, I put in some electrolytes, and normally the electrolytes suggest that one of these per every 250. Oh dear, didn't lose too much. It's a bit of deja vu for me. About 7 years ago I got to this point just on nightfall. I rang my friend Terry to say where I was. I had work the next day, and I headed out to Mount Tiara, and that was a good decision too. So I came out at midnight and met him on the road going up to Tiara at the gates. So when I say I've done the North South Track before, to be honest I haven't done it completely through to Karangaheke Gorge, and so part of the reason that I'm doing this is for myself to be able to complete the entire North-South circuit. So 7 years ago I started from State Highway 29 and came out on the summit of Tiara. Now in behind me is the track that goes through to Cashmore Clearing. Now I've heard a few people had a go at trying to get through here. It would be a shortcut to Waitawheta, but apparently it just peters out and goes nowhere. But not too far away from here in Cashmore Clearing used to be a hut, and so that would have been one of the Forgotten Five. See that series, by the way, if you haven't. I did a whole series on the 5 remaining New Zealand Deer Stalking Association huts that are still here. So that would have been, I don't know, the Forgotten 6. Anyway, for now, I'm heading towards Tiara, and then dropping down and then heading back to Waitawheta. Currently at the moment it is 20 past 10, and as I say, last time I did this at night, 3.5 hours at night, and let's hope the track has got a bit better since then. Can you imagine coming through here pitch dark? You just really had to have a cool head and continuously look until you saw an orange marker. Now another thing that I haven't said too much on camera, but you start getting a bit reflective after 3 days of solo hiking, and that is I'm a man of faith. When I came through here one, I asked for protection and he gave that to me, and two, whenever I couldn't find a marker, he just said, "You're okay, just follow the markers, you'll be okay," or "You're safe, I love you, just follow the markers, you'll be okay." And when you've got that kind of trust, faith if you will, it is a real sense of peace of mind. Possibly this might also be why, despite some of the crazy stuff I've done, I just come out at the end. Very seldom do I share that in any of the hundreds of videos, so this is going to be an interesting one if I ended up posting it. The markers. Do you think you could come through here in the middle of the night? Well, if you take your time, you should. The other thing too, and I'll show you an example, you're coming down here, you can't see anything, and if you lose your markers, if you look back, often you can see the marker behind you, but you won't see a marker in front of you. It's Tiara over the back, 3.5 hours from Cashmore Clearing. Gosh, it looks a long way. So yeah, I just spooked 2 deer just back a ways. You turn your camera on, but you know, how long do you leave your camera on in the hope that you catch them? But then there was a second deer only about 50 to 100 meters. This track just keeps going. It's horrible. From Cashmore's Clearing, it's horrible, uninspiring, muddy and long. I can't have too long to go now though. If someone tells you they love hiking in the rain, I'd almost call bollocks. Particularly on a really muddy track like this. But it does sound nice. I can't believe I hiked this from Cashmore's Clearing in the dark. I'm still going. What was I thinking? Right, I'm up on, I can't pronounce this, Pahiko, looks like hike, 788 meters. This is the highest point on the North South Track, and I tell you, the views are to die for. And I felt like I almost did, and I'm still going from Cashmore's Clearing. But look, apparently there's some kind of trig up here. Well, it's probably just a stake in the ground. I'm this close to it. I'm going to have a quick scout around and see if I can find it. Ah, there it is. Okay, you trig baggers, have you ticked this one off your bucket list? It's pretty inspiring. And once again, the views are just to die for. Anyway, that's enough shenanigans. I better get out of here like a bald man. Well, that's a real curiosity. It's got a substantial stove. Yeah, look, I left my hiking pole up at the trig. So I scored big though. Got myself a piece of lancewood, so yeah, must look after this baby. But once again, that would be 2 hiking sticks I've lost. Imagine if I was paying for those. I tell you, just cut a piece of stick and there's no more crying. Currently it's 1:45, so if I left at 7, that's something like about 6.5 hours. It must be because I'm so busy cutting hiking poles for everybody. It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, I'm at the end of this G-forsaken track. Hallelujah! Ah! Ah! Oh, I'm so happy. Ah, but which way do I go now? I'll go down and then check my map. What is this? What is this? Oh. Oh. Old North route. Well, where the heck is the alternative? Extremely rough track, do not use unless you're very experienced. Well, now you jolly well tell me. Waitawheta Hut, another 3 hours. Cheerful Dave has left the building. Tired Grumpy Dave has turned up. Currently at the moment it's 3 o'clock. It's taken me 8 hours. I'm sure I saw a sign somewhere that said 7. Gosh, I know I'm slow, but I really didn't think I was that slow. Well, that's encouraging for you guys, because if I can do this in 3 days at my tortoise rate, anybody can do it. Seriously though, what is the alternative to going south to north if you're not allowed through the Te Rereatukahia track? 3 hours. It's going to be 6 o'clock. Oh, there's only one way to do this, and that's to keep one foot in front of the other. So I'm heading down to Waitawheta Hut at the moment. Honestly, I'm surprised that I didn't put a barrier down the middle of this and call it an expressway. Oh, this isn't hiking, this is easy street, and I tell you what, I need easy street at the moment for a few hours, because what I've been doing up on that old North South Track, it has been hard. So currently on the Waipapa Track, which goes down to Waitawheta. Allegedly, if I'm to believe that sign on that North-South track that only experienced people should take, it's 3 hours. I need some nourishment. I think I'll have a 2-minute noodle and a coffee. Love those 2-minute noodles. And then I'll push on through to Daly's hut, which is about 4 hours away, and that's looking like about where I'm going to have to think about stopping. Yeah, so I'm feeling a little disheartened. I hope you're enjoying things. I won't be probably videoing as much because I'm very conscious of time. It does consume a lot of time videoing, and yeah, I need to just keep pushing on. So thank you for watching so far. Please hang on, this is a developing story. Is this going to get done in 3? Possibly unlikely. Will I get done in 4? Yeah, easy peasy. No, it's not very often you get to walk inside a tree. What a beautiful old girl this one is. I think that's the slim pack test. Oh, beautiful thing. Oh, as gnarly as you look and as hollow on the inside as you are, I love you. It's such a strong symbol of strength. What a beautiful tree. Beautiful tree. Obviously too gnarly for the people to cut down. Quarter to 7 and we're just heading into Waitawheta Hut. Human noise already. So I won't be staying here, but I will pop in and probably make up a brew. Should be a pretty busy hut tonight, I'd imagine. I'm just leaving Waitawheta Hut. So I'm heading off to Daly's. I'll be probably arriving on nightfall, and then I'll make a decision from there as to whether or not I'll carry on. So thanks for watching so far, and we'll catch you at Daly's now, shall we? The buoys and a turntable. Be a death wish for that guy. We're turning north and we're heading to Daly's Clearing Hut. So if you want to introduce your kids to staying overnight in a hut, Waitawheta is a very good hut. As you can see, the track, well, it's not really a track, is it? And I think you can get in normally in around about 3.5 hours from Franklin Road. In 3 hours it's going to be 9:45, and that's when we come into Daly's. And then in theory I could have up to another 4 hours if I wanted to hike out. And why wouldn't you? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Not very well signposted. It says Waipapa Track. Look at that wonderful swimming hole. But yeah, I'd rather be walking on a bush track than that road any day. So I'm hoping this goes to Daly's Hut. Highs and lows of today, because it's going to get really dark, so we won't be able to film. The lows, look, honestly, the section from Cashmore Clearing through to Waipapa Track, I mean, that was just arduous. It was ordinary, it was muddy, it was boring. Hello, what's this? What is this? I'd heard about this place. I won't disclose what it is. If you know, you know. It was removed in 2007. And this is where Corey, Zeb and Jesse stayed that night. Probably a good 3 years ago now. And I think I will be back. How awesome is this? Oh yeah, this is kind of special. A campsite that I came across sadly has the potential of being vandalised. I'll leave it as, if you know, you know. If you do know, don't write, please, what it is. You see the remnants of the tramway? There's just so much history here. Okay, so the time is 10 minutes past 9. I've just come from Waitawheta Hut. And I'm heading through to Daly's clearing hut. Allegedly that is 40 minutes away. So I'll probably not be able to do a lot of filming. I'll catch you at the hut, eh? See you then. Well, good evening folks. So here's the situation. So I'm at Daly's hut and I arrived here probably around about 10 o'clock. So do you like what I've done with Daly's hut? We've got amazing views out the window. Nah, look, in all seriousness, I ran out of memory card, and so I just need to tell you the events leading up to me stopping the third night at Daly's. So around about halfway between the junction at Waitawheta and the Daly's hut, I did actually manage to talk to my wife on cell phone. I got some cell phone signal, and I tentatively talked to her that I would try to continue to hike out to Karangaheke Gorge. At that stage I thought I probably had around about 3.5 to 4 hours. That's if you were doing it during the day. Now when I got to Daly's hut there was nobody there, so I wasn't going to upset or disrupt anybody by cooking inside the hut. There was a map in the hut that said I had another 5 hours before I got out to the swing bridge at Karangaheke. And that would have put me at around about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And could I have done it? Yes, it would have been. It was 16 hours by the time I got to Daly, so it would have been 16 plus 4, so around about 20 hours. And I can handle that, it's just a matter of time. I know that I wouldn't have been able to say I did it in 3 days, because there'd be some smart aleck out there that said, no actually Dave, you did it in 3 days and 3 hours the next morning. So I wasn't accomplishing anything by trying to get it out that night. It was potentially dangerous and there was just no common sense. So what I actually did is I bunked down. It was probably around about 11 o'clock, maybe even 12 by the time I got to bed, because I wandered around the hut trying to find signal strength so I could let my wife know that I wasn't going to continue to hike out and that I was staying at Daly's. But sadly I wasn't able to get any signal around the hut. Even putting my cell phone up on my hiking stick and trying to get up as high as I can, there's just nothing there. So I bedded down for the night, and look, the next morning I had a fantastic time. That weight was lifted off my shoulders, I took my time, I enjoyed the journey. And isn't that what this is all about? Enjoying the journey, not putting some kind of cape on my back calling myself some sort of super hiker because I can do it in 2 or 3 days. That would just be egotistical almost. This video series, and it will end up being 4 videos, is to help you plan or gain confidence to plan days or the multiple trip of the North South Track. So there's a whole lot of intel that I've added into this, the times and the total distances from the start at State Highway 29, and I've tried to show you a whole lot of the terrain as I've gone by. So that's why I haven't been rushing this video series, so that you have something that you can work with. And please use this as, I'm going to call it the Bible of the Kaimais, to understand what the distances are between the major junctions. So that's a little bit why I've been slowing it right down, and that's why I made the decision to stay the third night at Daly's rather than doing something really silly and trying to tramp out the next day looking like some sort of superhero, because I can assure you I am not. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, always hit that like, hit the subscribe, and look, I would love to respond back to your comments in the description in the video below. So please do that. And well, if you haven't done so, maybe check out these videos, because that's video 1 and 2. Catch up to date. Thanks for watching now, and we'll catch you in a couple of weeks when I do the 4th.